Hello there, I'm George from techbikebots.com. We've had the Street Twin for a good few weeks now, and I just want to share with you some of my thoughts on it. Most of you will know us from pots for the older range of Bonnevils. We do a large range of accessories. We also do a lot of work on suspension for all bikes. So we've been very interested to get our hands on this bike to see how it performs, and I must admit I'm very pleased with it. And quite impressed with what Triumph's done with the development program on it. They've nickeled out a lot of the old problems. They have improved the quality on a lot of items on the bike, especially the suspension. But the rear dampers are still a bit on the soft side if you want to push on. Yes, they've had to make a compromise to give comfort to people who want it, but generally a lot of people will find the dampers too soft. As you can see, we've fitted a set of our gas shocks on this one, and they are a lot firmer on the damping side than the originals, and they do control the suspension a lot better. Triumph have had a bit of a problem in the fact that they've had to use the same chassis for 3 different bikes. The chassis is the same on the Street Twin, the T120 and the Thruxton, and all of them ride very differently, and it's all down to the height of the front and rear suspension. The problem is on the Street Twin, because they've put it so low, it's pulled the trail right out at the front, and it is very reluctant to change direction. It makes the bike very stable, great for a beginner rider, but if you want to be a bit more sporty, you will find on twisty roads it is hard work to change direction with it. So what it really needs is the back end lifting up a little bit and the front end dropping a little bit. And to this end, we've made a kit for the front forks that allows you to adjust the front suspension, and our rear shocks also adjust for length. Now I'll be showing you soon how to fit the front suspension on the kit that we're doing. Triumph again sadly haven't put progressive springs in, so we will be putting progressive springs in it as well. This increases the ride control and the comfort on the bike, and generally a better performance all in. Aesthetically, I like the bike, what they've done. They've reduced the engine height, which has freed up a lot of the design potential of the bike. And I really like the way they've gone back to the old engine-shaped casings. And the radiator, I was a bit sort of not sure at first, but after a while you don't really notice on the bike. And for the improved performance of the engine, torque-wise and emission-wise, it's probably been a good trade-off. What I did find on the bike, I'm sort of an average sort of height rider, I'm 5'10". The seat is far too low for any sort of distance riding. Because the seat's low and your feet are high up, you tend to put a lot of weight on your back, and it's quite tiring, especially on bumpy roads after a while. So I did get the Triumph higher seat, which I'll show you what that's like now. And it actually does look very nice on the bike, and it gives you that extra couple of inches and just makes it a bit more comfortable and takes the weight off your back a little bit. Busy working on and developing a tail tidy for the bike at the moment. Triumph do a tail tidy. That's one there, £150. Personally, I think it's anything but tidy. It's a bit of an eyesore, but that's my personal opinion. Some people might like it, but you know, it's far too long. It's opinion. It comes almost down to the ground. Anyway, that's the one we're planning on making there, and you will have mountings to put your accessory indicators and rear light on there. Back end, where we're at the back end, Triumph have so fit on the steel swing arm models, the T120 and Street Twin, not to put any bobbin mounts on. But this is pretty much a necessity these days, because most people use bobbin type jacks to put their bikes up on. Strangely enough, they put them on the alloy swing and arm version of the Thruxton, but not on the other 2 models. So we've made up a little prototype of some bobbins here to mount on the swing and arm. We'll be producing these as well. Really handy. It means you can get your chain and do maintenance and cleaning, and it also takes up a lot less space in your garage or workshop or whatever, because the bike's upright. Elsewhere on the bike we've put one of our upgraded Monza cap conversion kits on, which looks much nicer. Now I'll try and put that now standard on the Thrux and R models, but again not on the what they think the lower T120 and Street Twin models. So that's a nice upgrade, just lifts the bike a little bit. We also fitted one of our Fender alloy oil filler caps, which is handy because you can use a spanner on it and get it nipped up. We also do those in polished silver as well, if you want to match the throttle body covers. Now we have developed a centre stand kit for the bike, or we're in the process of developing it. It's going off now to get all the jigs made. I've literally just taken it off the bike again, and that will be available soon as well, because we've had a lot of inquiries for that. Now we've done quite a bit of work on the exhaust system. We have done a short video on the comparison of Vance & Hines standard silencers and our short tracker style silencers, and you can go on our YouTube channel, you can see that. It'll give you an idea of the sound. They will be about £200 a pair compared to the Vance & Hines ones which are on here at the moment, which are £600 a pair, and you can compare the sounds and make your own mind up on that one. Performance wise, we've had it on the dyno, and no matter what slip-on you put on, you can't get much more than 1 or 2 brake horsepower out the engine. Now the reason of this is because all these are still keeping the cat in place, and it's obviously the cat that's restricting things. Now it is our plan to make a full system, deleting the cat out of it completely. It'll probably be a 2-to-1 tracker style one, and if anybody's interested in that, if you let us know and we'll gauge the demand, and we may start producing that, or even a 2-to-2 catless system as well. I have had a couple of people asking for a high level scrambler style one as well. So, you know, if you're interested, get in touch and we'll sort of prioritise which one we're going to do first. But I think the cans will be the first thing because they're the easiest to fit. So I'm going to do some videos on the bike for converting the front suspension upgrade kit, and also fitting the rear shocks and setting them up. So if you look on our YouTube channel, you'll see those coming on soon. Some of the other parts we're developing for the bike, we've already made again, is a luggage carrier in a grab rail system, a belly pan system for underneath, which we think is really necessary because of the cat. You don't want to be going through a lot of standing water because you can damage a cat if you suddenly quench it. So that's pretty important to have one of those on there. We're making a nice thick aluminium one, so that'll look really good. And I think you know, we've touched most of the things we're going to do for it for now. We have a couple of things up our sleeve which we're keeping a bit secret at the moment. A few trim things that we're going to do, and they'll be coming out with all these other parts about August time. That's August 2016 if you're watching this in 2020. So the parts that are available now are the suspension upgrade kits, the Monza gas cap, the oil caps, and a couple of the other bits. They'll all be on the website now if you want to check them out. And like I say, check the YouTube channel out and you see the suspension upgrade videos. Okay, thanks for now.